So this time we are going to start talking about checking accounts, how to manage those. So first, write down the objective, and then we'll deal with the others. So remember that TSWBAT is the student will be able to, we're going to talk about how accounts work, and we're going to talk about how to complete a check register. And we more than likely will not finish this today. We'll work on it tomorrow as well. Okay. So we will have a few definitions. The good thing about definitions is on the test, then there'll be some matching. And so that'll make the test a little bit easier when we get to test time. Because it'll have, at least I think those are easier. You may not. Okay, the first one, of course, the checking account. Obviously allows you to deposit money. And then from that you can make withdrawals, make transfers so that you can buy things with it. The whole point. A lot of people don't actually use checks anymore. I rarely use checks. If I have to mail a payment for some reason, I would use a check. But most of the time you pay things online now, which means you have to put in either your debit or credit card, or you need to put in your information from your bank account. Now, last year I had somebody from the bank in here talking to us about credit and all that stuff, and he advised you to never put a debit card in as your payment option online on the internet. Mainly because it's not covered by the same things that credit cards are covered for. All those laws that we learned about credit cards and how you can fix it on a bill and that kind of stuff. Well, those laws don't necessarily apply to debit cards. The bank usually will take care of it, but it takes them a while, and that's your money. I mean, that money is, if somebody goes and charges up, $500, that might leave you without very much money or any money. So his advice was to actually use a credit card online so that you're safe if somebody steals it. Thought that was pretty good advice. Here's the next one. It's a check. Obviously, we will practice writing checks in here, although, again, we don't do that very often anymore, but just in case you have to. And that allows you, obviously, to pay for something. Said most of us use a debit card. I seriously think I probably write 10 checks a year, and it's usually for stuff up here at school. Like, if I'm buying something from a band student, or I'm buying, some kind of fundraiser thing, that's usually what I use checks on. A few more definitions. Talk about electronic funds transfer. That's what most of us actually do. We use e-checks. It's where you just electronically move money from one thing to another. So when you put in your banking account information to pay a bill, that's using an electronic check. Not the same as using a debit card. It's a lot more secure, actually. Payee is the receiver of the transferred funds. That's the person you're paying. So, like if you have a bill to Craighead Electric, I usually do an e-check for them. The payee would be Craighead Electric. Name. Drawer is the account owner of the check. That would be you. Or whoever is responsible for the checking account. And the check clearing, and the check has actually been paid by a bank. If it's not, well, sometimes even if it is an e-check, it takes a little bit of time before it actually transfers the money from one account, your account, to, say, Craighead Electric. If it's an e-check, it's usually done within, 24 to 48 hours. If it's an actual check, it can take a few weeks. It just depends on how long it takes them to put it in the bank. I know when I write a check up here at school for something, unless it's the lunch, because lunch, man, they do it quick. But if it's for like a fundraiser, it can take like a month. So just, you write a check, but it may not be deducted from your balance. So you just need to know that that money is still coming out, even though it hasn't come out yet. A few more. Direct deposit it's a deposit usually from your work, or it can be like the IRS does this too when you get a tax refund, and it's just a deposit that's made directly into your account. I love direct deposit because I don't have to go to the bank. That money just gets put in there every day. It's usually put in there pretty early, like sometimes at midnight, sometimes at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. It's put in there, ready to use. So direct deposit, I'm a big proponent of it. A lot of places require that you do it. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Okay, there's our last one. So go ahead and write that one down.